Let me check down real quick. Come on, here we go. If you got any joint, check me out. I'm not so It's Tuesday, man. It's time for another edition of the Full 180. Look, man, we thank you for joining us. You can be anywhere else in the world, but you decide to be here with us. We definitely appreciate it, man. I am yours truly, DJ TRWKY. I am just one part of the dynasty that we have that'll be on the show, man. Look, we got you want to tune in, make sure you go to, let me see you to the screen. All you gotta do is scan that barcode, take you directly to the show. You can log on, subscribe, you can be a member, part of the full 180, man. We got big things coming up. Summer. I promise you in the summer we will have at least 2 live shows. Definitely gonna have 2 live shows. Because I was telling somebody earlier, I was like, look, man, I know they tired of hearing us talk. What they talk? We want to see what they're talking about. It's the fact for me. What's happening? Where you can hear me? Wait, can you hear me? Oh, maybe she can.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. You can't hear me. My bad. I thought I had these headphones on. My fault. Let's see. I'll reconnect them in a minute. How are you, man? So.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have to log in, log back off in a minute. So with that being said, man, we got a lot of things coming up. Of course, if you haven't been to the R&B bingo yet, you got to come out on Thursdays. It goes down. Got my main man, the comedian himself, Big Husky. He's about to go wood because he will sing every song karaoke. But we have a good time, man. R&B bingo has been growing. We thank everybody who comes out. If you want to join, you want to reserve your seat, or you just want to RSVP, man, go to rnbbingodfw.com. rnbbingodfw.com. We live there on Thursdays, man. The last 3-4 Thursdays has been a ball. We've had a great time. New people to come out. The patio is wide open. Come out and grab you some drinks, man. We can have a good time. We just chilling. We getting you ready. We call it pregame Thursday. We getting you ready for the Friday. And then on Friday, of course, it goes down on Fridays with your boy. It's called Feel Good Friday. Feel Good Friday is nothing but an after work party. You don't work all day. You done seen some people in your office that you just said, man, yeah. So that's what we do. You come there and get you some drinks. Happy hour starts at 4, goes to 7. I crank up by 6:30, 7 o'clock. And then we go full throttle to about 11. It's just a mixture of everything. It's just a vibe that we create. All the people that came out, man, it's been real packed, real packed. So we'll see what it looks like with the weather, man. We hope the weather holds up and we can get it done. But if you got time, please come out, come join us, man. Last week, Jules was out there. So that was fun to see her. Then she brought Mary and Martha. Hey, Alicia, hey, Janique. I call them Mary and Martha because these two chicks are never coming outside. Like, I don't care what's going on. They're not coming outside. But let me run through it, man, like I always do. May 17th is the day, and I guess you always make sure you put it on your mind. We got our own license. It's official if we got the paper on the wall. So, like a referee with a whistle, none other than our very own little Webby. Our dictionary.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't
Now
hear
I
me?
can.
Oh, let me switch up. Let me switch up. My fault. I always thought these disconnected after I did something. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, we good then. We back. All right, cool. My bad. I was trying to do something different, but hey, that's what you get for doing something different. How was your day?
It was long.
As usual, it's always long. The working AP slash school teacher slash when to be out of classroom soon. That's what it is. Well, good, good. And then I see we got our own license. I mean, a lot of people wish they could have their own personal piece of jewelry. Boy, that piece of jewelry was hot like fire last uh last Thursday. She had a dang good time. She got to do her best things, her Tamia things. Like I get in trouble every time we don't do this. So now, by the way, if y'all see me close my eyes a couple times, I'm dealing with something, but I'll be all right. We can work through this. Light is kind of right. I'm gonna cut it down a bit. But this is our own piece of jewelry. You can't buy this. She's fine. They say they fine as wine, and when I tell you the clutch is so miraculous, there's no other name you can give her but Jules. What up, Jay?
What it do, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
It's the red lipstick for me, man.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. It's the red lipstick for me. Is that what we got going on? Look, somebody might be kissed later on.
What?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, it's the red lipstick for me. Like somebody getting kissed later on, like they're gonna get all that off, right?
Nah, we just
Okay.
sometimes you gotta make yourself happy.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, if you already pissing these girls out with that, you and women with that, y'all got original baby hair. Everybody here be trying to make it. I mean, yeah, I see it all the time. I'll be like, baby, you just pull it back. Just comb it back. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And he not here. Well, I think he on the way. Oh, he is here. Ladies, did you see the eclipse? When you see the eclipse, you had to do nothing but think about this brother.
I mean, it happened yesterday.
I'm telling you, right? Hey, look, I was thinking about that too. I was like, dang, we out of the sun and into the marvelous light. Well, we out of darkness and into the marvelous light. We back. You know what I'm saying?
D,
I was
it
like
was
the
so
sun, the moon. Huh?
the star. Did you give it all to him, D?
Man,
he
look, God.
gave him something new. He gave him an eclipse.
Hey,
Brought the eclipse to it.
hey, brought that clip to it. You know what I'm saying?
This brother, listen.
Hey, devour that eclipse. You know what I'm saying?
This brother here's so real. Hold on,
Oh
like,
God,
I should have
y'all
did this
hilarious.
before. I should have did this before, but this brother here is so real. You hear me? When he came on the show today, I said, bro, look, I know when he come today, I gotta put it on just so I can see him. Woo! I said,
Come on.
D.
Come on. Oh, that's hilarious.
See you today, bro. See you today. I was
DJ.
like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh,
No,
I'm
you
tired of
good.
sleep.
You good. No, I was
Oh,
talking to DJ.
yeah, I was outside going live. I said, this reminds me of my brother. We was outside singing your song, bro, with the glasses on. I was like, look, that boy done created clips. He gave you the sun and the moon at the same time.
And
Then made it
created
go
darkness.
dark. Look, bro, you
Yeah.
are magnificent. But nah, this is none other than my brother, Mr. D. Lewis. Put some respect on his name. He is now a black part of Black history, of course. I always applaud you for that, bro. And he keep doing this thing, man, as usual. Well, good. I ran through all the Clintons, I believe. I had to do that, bro. I thought about you. Let's see. There was another thing I wanted to do. So I didn't do it last week, so I'm gonna do it this week. So today's quote. I live by 3 simple rules. Love needs action, trust needs proof, sorry needs change. I'm gonna let that sink in with you. See what you think. I believe some of that stuff is true. I always wonder how you say you're sorry, but then you still do the same thing over and over again. Like, were you sorry, or were you just saying it because it sounds good? I don't know. And I do understand trust needs proof. And then, of course, the first part, love needs action. How can you say you love somebody, but your actions don't line up with what you're saying? Which is a perfect segue to what we're talking about today. And I'm going to let Webby tell this story before we get into it. However, before then, Jules, you sent me something I thought was very, very interesting. And I like for them to be a part of the show. I can do all the technology part, but I like for this to be a cohesiveness of our mindsets. So I want y'all to hear this.
I believe what's more powerful than attempting to control somebody is allowing people to be grown up and seeing what they would do without your interference.
Asking Donnie, do you feel like you're easy to be led?
By who? You couldn't lead me. Yeah, I do feel like I'm easy to be led. I'm led every day. David leads me here in this. Everything he tells me to do, I do it. In a relationship, I'm led by my friends. I'm led by my mother. I'm led by people who I trust to lead me. I am led for sure. And we also have to dispel that narrative. A woman who has an opinion, a woman who is intelligent, and a woman who is not afraid to demonstrate both doesn't equate to a woman who can't be led. People are led by people who admire, love, and respect, right? When the advice makes sense, when the leadership is coming from a pure place, when the environment feels safe, we are okay being led. And a man understands that he never has to say, I lead you.
I say my thoughts to later. What y'all think?
I
Um,
said,
go
oh,
ahead,
with.
Jules.
No,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
Jules, since you sent it. Go ahead, Jules.
Yeah, I sent it. I thought it was dope, like, because I feel like it's very poignant and it's very accurate for me specifically. Because I feel like one, a lot of guys get submission misunderstood as in passiveness, like mixed up with passiveness in a sense. They think that I'm gonna say some men. They think that if they tell you what to do or they have the ultimate decision, or then if you buck against it, or if you not necessarily buck against it, if you just have an opinion or have a comment, then you don't know how to follow. And a lot of times strong women who are opinionated, who are concerned in any relationship, they should have a say. You know what I'm saying? They should have a position or a place. And again, we talked about this early on about like how you have to feel safe in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? As far as in women need safety, they need to feel provided for, they need to feel just protected in general. And then that gives them a safe place to land, and it allows us to be who we are and who we need to be in a relationship. And that will also allow us to, follow, because we trust you and your guidance and your opinions and how you feel about things. And we trust that you can do what you need to do. But for the most part, I was just thinking about how leadership looks different. Leading looks different from a woman's eyes when I saw that. I'm all over the place, y'all.
Maybe. Or D, either one.
I think her response was a little brass. And low-key disrespectful to tell someone in their face, well, no, you couldn't leave. And it was the way that she had done it. That was very brass. And so after that, I quit. My initial response was to quit listening, because the disrespect, like, that was just totally disrespectful, the way that she had done that. Now, if she had felt that way, I mean, that's fine. You feel how you feel. You can always, figure out who you can lead. But that was just like, for me, a very clear depiction that she couldn't be led. And I'm also a strong, independent woman myself, but that doesn't mean I can't be led.
I think she was a little disrespectful and then she caught herself because everybody can't lead you. You know what I mean? In a sense.
Well, yeah, but if she act like that, I wouldn't want to go nowhere with her. Friend, she couldn't, like, the way she responded, she couldn't even be my friend.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I feel like I think she was disrespectful and she got herself in that in the same lane. It is very true though. Like, everybody can't lead you. You're not gonna follow everybody because there's some fools out here, and you see them for what they are, And there's some people in your life that you hang out with every day that you will not allow to lead you because you don't trust them. You don't trust their judgment. You don't trust how they live their life. You don't trust, just certain aspects of them taking over what you have. It's like saying, hey, I'm good with money. You're not good with money. And if you don't know how to manage your money, I'm definitely not going to invest my money with you. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that we can't kick it or nothing like that. It's just, I'm not going to put my money over there with you. And hence, I'm not going to let you lead my life. I'm not going to be inspired by what you're doing as far as leading me.
mm-hmm.
In that sense.
With Deezy. He out. With Dee.
Yeah. So, so there were some things that she said that was, to me, I agree with, actually. A person don't have to, a person who's leading you and it's understood that leadership is happening, don't have to constantly remind you that I'm leading you. All right. So that's actually something that I agree with. As it pertains to her demeanor, that's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But I also think, much like the lady last week, I think she wants to be able to make the choice for who leads her. And it sounds like she kind of already have, like, ideally in her mind what that looks like what type of person can lead her and what can't. She immediately looked at that guy. I don't know and here's the thing, we don't know what their encounters were during that time. Like, it could have started off bad before they went before they, went on air. Like, there could have been a lot of contributing factors that led to her responding to him like that, right? And here's the truth: whether you're a man or a woman, somebody who's lame, unfortunately, right, or just come off in lame ways, or just try to be funny. You know what I mean? Sometimes our immediate reaction can be kind of snappy. You know what I'm saying? But more or less, I think that ultimately this young lady has some valid points. To each his own. She got to be able to make the choice. It's a two-way street. Like a man got to choose to lead you, like want to lead you, but a woman got to also agree to be led, right? And then to Drew's point, I think I started thinking about the movie Coming to America when Prince Hakeem was in there with old girl and he was talking about. He's like, what all would you do? She said, anything you would like, right? Where she was barking like a dog, where all of that. And he found that extremely unattractive versus when he met the lady from Brooklyn, right? Who actually pushed back at him, had her own thoughts. I think most men really find a woman who can offer good feedback without making them emotional, are very, very attractive. So all in all, I mean, no one wants a yes man or yes woman. At least I don't believe that, right? That could be an assumption, but some may do. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think there's value in really good pushback.
Mm. And I do agree with that. Pushback is very good if you're open to it. So, woman, this is what I say. You don't want to do it as a doormat, and you don't want anybody to say yes to you all the time because you can run them over. Woman, then you really don't want to do it like that when you meet me and a dude that's just as emotionally intelligent and smart and knows how to discern and knows how to speak his feelings and does not mind showing the softer side, but he's not gonna let you walk all over him. You don't know what to do with me because you're not used to all that pushback. And then when you get it, because you've been doing you for so long, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't believe man, you just too much. So, woman, I ask you, what is it that you want? Now you can go to a woman, but if you go to a woman, women on women relationships have the same problem. So, woman, what do you want? And not only woman, men too. What do you want? See, I guess my part is when she said we have to despair this narrative that a woman that's intelligent and this and that. We keep having this conversation about lead. What we're gonna get to the truth of the matter is, it's just some people that don't know how to be led. They don't want to be led. And from your attitude, I would lead you around the corner. Like, the way you even came into the conversation was wrong. Now, I'm like, we don't know about the backstory. So maybe there was some beef. So that's why she did that or whatever, whatnot. But the truth of the matter is, it's just some people that do not want to be led, period. We can have this leadership conversation all the time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh no, I put my hand up because I just wanted to let you finish your thought, like I was in school, because we got some teachers on the line. But the reality is too, hey bro, like some of us don't know how to lead either. And like honestly, if I were to be honest with you and say I knew exactly how to lead my wife when I first got married to her, man, I'll be lying to you because it was a new situation. You know what I'm saying? And without her feedback, without her pushback, I wouldn't know how to lead it. So I think there's a both and, right. There has to be a willingness to be led, but there has to be an openness to help somebody understand how to lead you, right? Wow, you know what I mean? Because if I don't know what I don't know about how to lead you, right? It doesn't mean that I don't know how to lead. It just means like he not know how to lead you. You know what I mean? And communication, kind of going back to what we talked about a little bit last week, that's just the importance of communication, you know?
And if you're an uncommunicative person, or if you communicate everything with your emotions, I don't want to lead you. There's no way I could lead you because you're not open to leadership. You're open to always having a argument or a dysfunction. That's what you're used to.
Well, would it be fair to say that people come to relationships with an expectancy that you are already a finished product from a leadership perspective? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But
or
that would be contradictory to your statement. If your wife came to you expecting you to be a leader and you
right,
don't even know her, so you have
right,
to take the time to invest and get to know her in order to learn how to lead. And,
correct,
and, and
correct,
she would have
correct,
to do the same. That's
right,
what you're doing. It goes back to what you said, communication. But this whole narrative that you think because I think you're strong and you have an opinion, I want you to have an opinion. I don't want to doormat. I don't want to be you telling me yes. I do not want an everyday submissive chick. Yes, Greg. Yes, Greg.
DJ, cut the light on.
I don't want you to hop on one leg and bark the dog. That is not my lane. Like I don't even come from that. All three of them women that I deem as queens, they are not like that. However, they knew how to they knew how to control their strength in order to keep and let their man have their integrity. But I will tell you in the background, I know who ran our house. I know who ran the house. But in your eyesight, you would never see that. She'll never allow you to see that. So when you talk about being led, there's some characteristics about yourself that you need to fix in order to be led, or even be wanting somebody to lead you. So, and I'm not saying what she said does not fit in certain areas. I definitely believe it does. Depends on what your situation is. But we had this conversation about leadership. But then some people just, like I said, you're just not a person that anybody can lead. Period. Point blank. Period. I mean, that's my thought process. But I thought it was good though. Like when Jules sent it, I was like, I had listened to it like 3 or 4 times. I was replaying it while I was talking because I was like, ooh, and she said this, and then she said that. I was trying to get out the whole attitude thing. I didn't care about that. I would care more about what she was talking about. But yeah, I wanted to bring it to the table. Jules, beautiful, baby, beautiful. I definitely appreciate it. It gave me some thought process. You had me hitting replay,
Can
replay,
I can I ask a real quick question
Yes, sir.
to Jules and Webby? What do y'all identify as your favorite leadership trait in a guy?
I'm gonna let Jules go.
Well, y'all know mine is decisiveness, good decision making.
So, question: if he make good decisions, is that me making a decision? You always giving me some pushback on my decision.
What? Say that again.
Is that me making a decision and then you always giving me pushback on my decision?
No, because if you make good decisions, then you include me. You include the necessary people into the decision. So you take into consideration your wife or your significant other. You take into consideration your family, how it impacts everything. You counsel the people that you need to counsel with. You seek out good counsel. And if you do all of those things, then you make a decision, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. It turns out good, bad, or ugly, and you do it timely. I mean, don't sit around and wait months on months on months to make a decision that, could ultimately create more, wreckage at the end of it, or with more time. Just make the decision as quickly as possible with good counsel.
So to that end,
At
how
the
do you
best
handle?
decision you can make.
I'm sorry. So to that end, how do you handle times where be indecisive about something?
So, well, in those moments, I'm more like, hey, let's just, let's do. We'll make a decision based on what we have, and if we fail, we fail. We fail together. You know what I mean?
Is that the tone?
Like,
is that the tone? Like, is that the tone? Like, okay, if we, like,
you gotta do something.
is that the tone, or is it like, hold on, you got to come on, we got to make a decision. What's
It
going
depends
on?
on what the
What is
decision.
it?
It depends on what the situation is.
Cause you sound real. You sound real like, we just got to make a decision, and if we got to make a decision, and Jules,
it depends on what the situation is, though. Like, if it's like, okay, for instance, you got simple stuff that needs to be done. Say the roof needs to be repaired, and say, it's creating additional issues. The longer we wait to get the roof repaired, the more problems we're going to have. we're going to have water leaking in the house, mold, all kind of other stuff. It's going to snowball into something else. So I'm going to say, hey, you know, where we at in this decision? What's been done? You know what I'm saying? And hopefully at that time we've communicated a lot of stuff and bring everything to the table and let's just make a decision. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And if we're not sure, let's just throw it up and pick something. You know what I'm saying? Put 3 in the pot and they all the same. It's all equal. Put them in the pot and let's pull one out. If it don't work out, on to the next. You know what I mean?
On
It
to
just
the
depends on what the
next.
decision is. If it's more something that is, can my son go on a date? You know, I'm gonna leave that over there with him. He can mull on it all he wants to. You know what I mean? It just,
You can make that decision.
I'm just saying, you know, depends on the level of severity, you know. Do I gotta take my father off of life support kind of thing? You know what I mean? Helping me make that decision.
Women, so we can ride right into the show.
2, follow through.
Oh man.
I lost my other one. The main one that
I
the
knew that
follow.
was coming. I knew that was coming.
Do what you say.
Say what
Like you gonna do. Yeah, say what you mean.
Now,
But you yes
now,
mean yes and you don't mean no.
now, Webby, I want you to be real honest with yourself. Do you always follow through with what you say
No,
you're
but you
gonna do?
asked me, but the question was asked. What was
Shit.
what was
So
what
you
was
was
my
acting right. You was
no
acting
no
right.
no
You
no
was acting right.
my
No,
the question was what was something that I find attractive about
Right.
leadership, and what I said was for me was follow through.
But if he
All
don't
right.
follow through, what level of energy that he might? You know what? I'm not gonna play. I'm just messing with you.
Well, let's flip it, DJ. Let's flip it, DJ Tricky.
What's up?
If
What's
they
up?
do,
What's up?
so say they come through, he do follow through, baby. Say he do, JJ, make that decision. Like that, like what happens?
Tacos, whatever.
Talk
Because they
clean up.
Tacos.
You
like
gonna
what
clean
they
up?
Hold on. Yvette, come on,
baby
hold on.
boy, he said you gonna
Yvette.
make them tacos.
But you know what was happening while he was asking her that too.
Yeah, but we ain't got, I mean, that's icing on the cake. But however, but you did what
No,
you
the
said.
tacos are the icing, child. The tacos is the icing.
No. What he
So
was doing while he was asking
No,
her that question was the icing on
no,
the cake.
no, player. And that's a problem with some female in 2024. They think that's icy. That ain't icy.
No,
It's cool.
but I didn't say nothing about that. I said he would get what he want. I mean, if you want me to be for Alicia, if you want me to be submissive, then I need you to follow through.
Okay. So, but the time I don't follow through, do you stop being submissive?
No.
Well, y'all speaking for y'all. I'm just saying, I know women in 2024, the first time you don't. Oh, man. He done.
Oh, then
I
they
can't
ain't gonna
do
be
it.
in a relationship because we
I
have
can't
to
do it.
exceed grace. So I mean,
I
now
just think I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I apologize.
you good.
Go ahead. What you say? You say we have.
We have to remember that we have to extend people grace. And I don't know what relationship you're gonna be in. So you mean to tell me folks who've been married 50, 60 years ain't extending folks grace?
ton of it.
And they got tired of talking, and and finally we in our 70s, and who got time to talk? We finna laugh because we nearing death anyways. So let's just laugh, smoke our cigarettes, and go on about our day.
And the difference between our older generation and our newer generation, some of us, not all of us, when they made a commitment, they made a commitment.
Exactly.
They didn't make the commitment standing on, well, if this don't go this way, if you don't send me $150 for lunch, you only send me 30. Nah, I can't be with you.
I'm gonna take that $30, 15 gonna be for lunch, and that 15 is going in my gas tank.
So when I be hearing y'all talk, I understand y'all answering questions that fit you. Trust me. I'm just saying, well, from what I hear, out here in these streets, what I see out here in these streets, that is the MO. That is the MO. And before we get into the time, so today's topic is, are you protecting or drowning your investment? This is a great segue to what we're talking about, right? And Webby brought this to my attention, of course, and I thought, I was like, you know what? That's a good story. So I want her to set this up because she gave me some good information that I was like, man, I didn't even know. Or that was the actual how that went in that story. Disclaimer, none of us are pastors. None of us have, well, I think D has one, theological degrees, none of that. So when you hear this, what I'm going to tell you is go read it for yourself. Now, we are all church people here, but go read it for yourself. Go ahead, D.
What we reading?
Girl, what the young lady told you, Sheba and Solomon. Why is you don't never be messing up everything?
Y'all,
me.
okay, here's my disclaimer for today. I have been star testing today, so my mind was somewhere. So I was like, what we reading? I don't want to read nothing else today. But anyway, so for those who don't know, I'm a member of Eastern Star. And
the star.
I'm a star for all my sis stars that out there listening. Hey girl, hey, I see your light shining through. Anywho, and so we were talking about the story between Solomon and Queen Bathsheba and how it came across like she was begging to be an equal when really she was reminding him that we are the equal, Solomon, like that women are we the equal, we don't have to beg for it. And so a little disclaimer out there, ladies, remember we are equal and we don't have to beg for nobody's equality. So that was my little tidbit for today, my little gem. But as we were talking amongst just women, and one of the ladies said that she doesn't like embrace other men outside of her husband. And she was saying, now for whoever else, that's cool if that's what you do. She said, but for me and my man, I don't ever want my man to think that I'm out here disrespecting him. She said, I need him to know that I'm respecting him in his face and behind him when he's not here. And it just resonated with me. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to hug people because I'm friendly, so I hug people anyways. But it made me think, like, even when I was married, like, did I hug somebody too close one time or kiki, haha, a little bit too long before or made my husband at the time feel uncomfortable? And now my current relationship, even though we're not married, but it just made me think, like, could that have gone differently? Could I could put a boundary in place and not let the conversation go too far? Not that it was anything bad or anything like that, but it's just like, because you with somebody, probably shouldn't have said that or let somebody say something. Well, let me say that because you can't control other people. You can only control with how you respond. So it just got me thinking, like, are we really doing our best every single day to protect our relationships outside of, more presenting things like, of course, cheating or something like that. But there's for all the grown folks out there, it's 11,000 steps before you get to the dude being in somebody else's bed. So it's the conversations, it's the text messages, and where it started out friendly. Oh, that's just my home girl, or that's just my homeboy. And next thing you know, homeboy, homegirl is calling you at 10 o'clock at night when they ain't never done it before. And you answering the phone. Where it started out, it was just okay, but then, well, it was just that one time on Monday night, then it became Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday became Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday became Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That homeboy is calling, and you ain't checked him yet.
Okay.
I know I got a whole lot.
But she said it. Well, Jules, if you got anything to reply to that, cool. But I had brought up some characteristics. But go ahead.
Jules?
Oh. I don't know. Like, I feel like I I don't know. Cause I'm a huggy person. You know me, I'm a huggy person.
And I'm not saying
And
for
I
you to
feel like
stop
it's a,
hugging.
I feel like it, I feel like my love language is touch, you know? So if I embrace you, it's because I care. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes if even if it's a male, if it's my nephew or my brother or whoever it is, uh, I don't think that the physical touch is a big deal for some, just depending on, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a good thought. It's a very good thought for me to think about a little bit. But I also think that I would feel like not as connected, you know, because if I reserve myself like that, like with any male, you know what I mean?
Well,
Um,
let me provide you some context. So that particular individual is not necessarily a hugger, so it's easy for her to not embrace other men because that's just not her. I
okay.
don't want you to use the word the physicality of the hug. It's the
Inappropriate
letting
situation
people
that
touch
you
me
don't,
or
it's the, so I understand that aspect of it from the part of setting up boundaries. Like I
yes.
think it's imperative that you set up boundaries with everyone. And that is even your spouse or your significant other. There has to be boundaries in place in order for you to, I think boundaries are respect for each other, you know? And when you set up these boundaries, even with people that are outside your relationship, you establish, this is how we're going to communicate. This is how we're going to do these things. And when we're outside of these boundaries, let me put you back over here in this boundary, or otherwise you can be dismissed from my space.
Right.
Because it creates a level of disrespect, not only to me, but to my relationship. Or, and realistically, if I set up a boundary with you and you keep stepping over it, you're disrespecting me.
And period. Me and
You
my
know,
relationship for that
right.
matter.
And because in a marriage, we're one. He is I and I am him. And if you disrespect me, you're disrespecting him. But I'm always thinking, like, if you keep breaking my boundary, you don't respect me. So you definitely don't need to be in my space. And I'm definitely gonna push you out, and not deal with you on that level and not continue to allow it to happen. And I feel like also at the end of the day, we are responsible for setting those boundaries up, not our spouses, you know?
Absolutely.
So it's important for us to set those up and maintain them and control those, to ensure that we are respecting ourselves and our relation and the relationship that we want, you know, because if we want our spouses or significant others to maintain the boundary, you know, and have these live under the same covenants or the same set of guidelines that we do, then, you know, it's important for them to see that we are honoring those things as well.
Right. And so that's why it just made me think like have yeah, it just made me think, and like I said, that was her particular boundary, but I get why she said what she said. And it's not that her husband may have thought that she was out here in these streets, but she wants to make sure that her husband knows that she is going to protect their relationship at all costs. So
Mm-hmm.
for her, she chooses not to hug men outside of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm a hugger, so that's gonna be a little tough for me. But I mean, I wouldn't put that boundary in
For
place
sure.
for me. But what I can do is stop other folks from trying to touch me. Because
Yeah.
as much as I'm a hugger, I don't like unwanted touches either. I don't
Yeah.
like people to walk up and touch me.
Yeah.
That I didn't invite you into my
My
space.
space. Mm-hmm.
I'm very big about that.
So from a man point of view, what y'all just did was it to me was reassuring each other. It's reassuring you, hey, and I'm gonna say the key thing you said for me. It ain't what you do in my face. It's how you act when you ain't in my face. Is what I'm worried about. So when you say you can hug people and your dude is not tripping, that means that to me that means you set a security for him to know, like this the homeboy, this is what it is. I can hug this person, but at the end of the day, you that one. Like you ain't got to worry about all this. And when you have that feeling as a dude or I get it as a woman. That's something that has to fester. And then another thing that I think that was very problem with Jules say, and I say it completely all the time. You right. Set the boundaries. Tell me this, and that. But if you ain't following your own boundaries, what make you think I gotta follow yours? It just seems to me there's this whole, I'm your son type of mentality in a whole lot of relationship. I'm not your son. Like, I don't know why you can think you can tell me something and you don't do. I don't understand why you think these rules don't necessarily follow you as well. I'm trying to figure out why you think you can call me to the carpet, but when I call you to the carpet, you're a defensive back for the Dallas Cowboys. And you start running backwards, or then you try to find something I did a long time ago to take us off the conversation to talk about something else. It's just like I don't get it.
I think
But what I will say now, what I've learned, and ladies, you can tell me if it's true or not. I've asked several ladies, and they was like, "Yeah, you're right." What I've learned is that you can communicate. Like, people know how to communicate. Period. You know how to communicate. The problem is when the communication starts and you are the issue. That's when you want to shut down the whole lines of communication. Well, I can't be the clock that's wrong twice a day.
so.
I can't.
Let me.
I can't
Can I ask a
I can't
question?
go ahead.
So, perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel like something is being turned back on you because you feel like they do it, do you acknowledge to them that they do it before they acknowledge that you doing it?
No, because that's not my at that point in time when that happens, that's not my lane. I can't do that because we're talking about me. So I can say,
No,
well,
I'm saying
yeah,
beforehand, before she come to you and say,
uh-huh.
before she come to you and call you out for
Mm-hmm.
not doing what she needed you to do,
Mm-hmm.
do you acknowledge those things to her before she doesn't even come to you about those things? You say, hey, you got these boundaries, and you know, are you just doing it because you feel like if she breaking her own boundaries, then I can break them too?
No, I'm trying to make sense of why we arguing about something I did, but you do it.
Can you tag me in, Jules?
Tag.
All right.
He
So
can
I
be
do
you.
think. No, no, I ain't saying it like that. I'm saying just tag me in. I think so. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That's one of my greatest pet peeves. Relations. Like when I bring something up to you about something or a particular way that I feel with some sort of offense, right? And your first response is, well, you do the same thing. Well, if I do the same thing, why haven't you ever let me know that prior to this particular conversation?
That part.
I can't
That
stand it.
that that will be helpful to understand, because when you do that, what you say yes to is what you say no to, right? So when you
Mm-hmm.
do that, right, you're kind of deflecting how I feel in the moment, right,
Mm-hmm.
by trying to turn the tables back on me and make me look like the problem, which I'm not even trying to make you look like the problem. I'm just saying this offended me, which causes me not to really want to bring situations to you in the event you're not going to, at the very least, take ownership and allow me to be heard in that moment. If I do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, let me know, right? But we don't have to get that doesn't have to be the immediate response. I'm trying to get something off to you and let you know, like, hey, this ain't cool. Like, I don't like this, man. This is making me feel this way. And instead of acknowledging those feelings, right, we're acknowledging it turns into a tit for tat conversation.
Mhm. We talked about that
So
last week about just being honest about how something impacted you. You know what I mean? Like, if it hurt your feelings, then say it hurt your feelings. Don't attack the action or the, what do you call it? These are just symptoms. What I'm doing is just symptoms of whatever it is, don't attack the true problem. The true problem is you hurt me and it didn't feel good. And what you did, made me mad or made me angry or made me frustrated or made me lose trust or whatever it is. You attack that problem of it. And it's a self thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a self-reflection and say, hey, what you did could have been right. It could have been fair. It could have been good for everybody but me.
DJ, come here. Go get this.
Just
Yeah.
I need to acknowledge that you hurt me or you did this, so it made me feel like you're not respecting my boundary.
I'm glad y'all said that. One second. To be able to talk to you and be honest with you without you being upset with me about what I was honest about.
Can I come in?
Honestly, sharing my heart with you, I get in trouble when I share with you how I feel. Because you feel that when I share how I feel, you feel like it's an attack against you.
Let's sit 1 second. We're gonna sit in there.
It's not against you.
I know.
Because we're gonna be honest, we're in this marriage series and we still haven't had a real conversation. And I don't know one. But the truth of the matter is I'm afraid because you taught me not to be honest with you about how I feel.
How did I teach you that?
Because you told me that because when I was honest with you, you made me pay for being honest with you. You got mad at me and had an attitude because you didn't understand how I felt the way that I felt about a situation. I only said I feel that you're not submissive, baby. But you got mad because I feel that you're not submissive. I feel like we're not having enough sex. But you got upset with me because of how I feel. I was honest with you. So you told me not to share my true feelings with you. But whenever I do, you shut down, you retreat, you take flight, you freeze, you don't talk to me. And so rather than having this look, I just suppress it and deal with it. So to answer your question, why somebody don't acknowledge it, so a lot of men don't acknowledge it because when they do it, I always get twisted back on them. Because a lot of females, not all, a lot of females are not willing to acknowledge and be accountable and responsible when the situation or when you're put on the carpet about something that you do. So when you say come tell you for what? Because when I did this a long time ago, this is what I got. Oh, so you taught me I can't come talk to you. You taught me that I can't have a conversation with you. You taught me that the only feelings that matter is yours. So once again, you can communicate. But when it's time to communicate and have a real hard conversation and you are the issue, you flee, you shut down, you bring up everything else in the past instead of dealing with what I'm telling you about you. So I can acknowledge it to you, but if you're not willing to really deal with it and you're going to shut down every time, then why am I having that conversation? So then the conversation is only can go one way. And I believe that's one of the characteristics of someone who's not protecting their relationship. Because you're not emotionally mature to handle when it's time to sit down and have a real conversation. You want to talk about everything on the surface. Now, but let me mess up. Oh, we're going to sit down and have a conversation for hours. And I know this to be true. So a lot of people are not emotionally mature enough to handle these conversations, which tells me you're not inclined to protect your relationship. You're drowning your relationship. Because everything cannot be one person. Everything cannot be somebody's fault. Everything cannot be always something else. There can't be a justification and a reason for everything you do, but I can't give you a justification and reason for what I do. It's just now you wrong. What you should have did was this. Well, who was you to tell me what I did or how I should have acted in that manner?
So,
Anytime. Oh, I'm sorry, go for it, Jules. Yeah.
no, good. You good?
I was gonna say, anytime a person chooses to protect their own best interest in a relationship over supporting the person that they're with, it's always gonna be friction. Um, and with that, you, a sign of you trying to protect yourself is also a sign that there's a trust issue in the relationship. Um, I don't trust that I can share something with you and we can deal with it in a healthy way without it turning toxic or getting worse or the matter's getting worse. Um, I don't trust that I can bring something to you and it's received well. Um, and yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
So D, let me ask you, what if you never
That was
tried?
good.
Huh?
What if you never tried?
What you mean?
So if I say, hey, bro, I really can't, I don't talk to you because I really can't bring nothing to you because X, Y, Z. But how do you know if you've never really tried or you've
Only that
never really
person.
been
Yeah,
communicating?
yeah.
So my thing is sometimes that non trust is, oh, if I tell them this, how they gonna react? Are they still gonna want to talk to me? Are they not gonna want to talk to me? But my whole thing is if you trying to be a sole proprietor, then do that. But if you're trying to be in a if you're trying to be in a relationship, it says in the book to do what? Try what? Try the spirit. So you got to try the spirit. You don't know how they're going to receive it, how it's going to come across. But if you don't try to have the conversation, then it's kind of like you live in a false narrative of a relationship. It's not a real relationship. Two people are
Well,
supposed to come together and share.
So, so
well, the word also speaks to quick reconciliation as well.
yes,
You know what I mean? And that like you're not even supposed to go to bed without reconciling first. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's
So
true.
here's the
And then
deal, like go for it, Jules.
I said it also talks about like when you talk about your love for your spouse, your significance for your spouse, loving your spouse like the church. Like, Jesus did what was in the best interest of the church, not what was in the best interest of himself. He had to die to himself, in order to do what was best for the church. And I like you brought up that having the best interest in the person, like you have to have going into anything the best interest in the person. That kind of shapes how you have the conversation. It shapes how you talk to the person. Um, and sometimes the person can get so focused on, say you said something to me and I responded badly or poorly. Sometimes in that moment, you got to refocus that person and say, hey, wait. I wasn't attacking you. What I'm trying to say is tell you how I feel. And I just need to get it out. And, I just want you to think about it from my perspective, not from your perspective, because we are different people. We think differently. We see differently. We do differently. I need to be able to get it out so that I can, you know, tell you how I really feel or whatever my confession is. And honestly, I think that it's unrealistic for people to think that you're not supposed to be upset or angry when somebody gives you their truth. You know what I'm saying?
That's
If it
fact.
hurts, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're not supposed to feel because, oh, if I warn you and say, hey, I did something wrong or I did this, or just allow me to, be honest with you, doesn't mean that you don't give that person space to be angry or frustrated. You kind of got to let them have it so they
Gotta
can
let them have
process and deal
it.
with it and maybe address it just to give them some space and some room so that they can absorb it a little bit before they have to respond or make a decision. So drop the load, of course, but like expect anger. Anger is not a terrible feeling. The Bible tells you to be angry and not sin. So clearly it's expected that you will be angry at some point,
Some point.
but allow the space for that person to not sin and not, not sin against you. Like allow them that space to feel it and understand it and own it. You know what I'm saying? So that they can you know, have the empathy that you're seeking, you know, and then be able to give you the grace where you need it. Otherwise, if you say, oh, I did this and you knew it was going to make them mad, you knew just because you say, oh, don't be mad. No, don't come at me like that. Just tell me what the truth is and allow me to be frustrated, angry, sad, happy, cry, whatever I need to do in that moment. And then allow me to process and then allow me to have the empathy and then allow me to give you the grace where it needs to be, if that's what your resolution that you're seeking, you know, and that's just you have to I don't want the pretense of because I told you you should be okay, like you okay telling me, but I'm just not hearing it, you know. So that's just my perspective on it.
Yeah, I feel like I want to share something. I feel like for every viewer that's listening and even us, I think something that I've learned, and this is something that I learned last week, that kind of one of the people on our team, they created this acronym because we got this term, "We are here," and they created an acronym for here because there's a value of being present, like being present in every situation. But here in this situation, H stands for allowing the person to feel heard. E stands for being able to empathize with the person, right? Be able to put yourself in their shoes, listening, right? You listening, heard, empathize. E, R, then you respond, right? And then E, you empower, the last E. So to be here is allowing the person to feel heard, empathizing, responding, and then empowering them in some kind of way. And if there's a way for a person to be empowered in a conversation or a relationship, at the very least, foundationally, a person can be empowered to just speak their mind. You know what I mean? And creating a safe place for that. And I just think that's important. Webby, what you think? Curious.
That's one of also my biggest pet peeves. If I bring something to you, then that's not your moment to be like, oh well, you did it too. That bothers me to no end, because if I had done something, that wasn't your moment to tell me that I'd done something when I'm telling you something about how I feel about something.
Facts.
So because all you did was deflect and put it back on me, so it makes me think I'm crazy, or trying to make me think I'm crazy, and we still never addressing you, the issue at hand. Also with that, understanding that because you have brought me said grievance, that doesn't mean, like what Jules says, that I'm not going to feel a way about it. I think people think that they're supposed to just say something to you and that's just what it is. Well, we are all human beings and we all have feelings. So for you to think that you're just going to say or bring a grievance to me and I'm not going to have an initial shock or feelings towards it is really preposterous. And yes, I'm using a T word.
Come on, preposterous. Let's go.
It's really
let's go.
To fathom that I'm not gonna have any feelings about it.
Right.
I may get mad. And getting mad doesn't mean I'm yelling, screaming, and shouting back at you. Getting mad is like, ooh, really? He said I did.
Yeah.
You know, it's hurtful.
Yeah.
And let those feelings wash over you, and then we can talk about it, because like you said, Jules, you're wanting me to change the behavior and have empathy and or sympathy, whichever one it is. So but I have to go through those emotions too, because remember, you've been going through those emotions before you brought it to me.
You
I've
sure?
done whatever it is 15,000 times before you brought it to me. So at least 15 other times you've gone through these cycles of emotions. And then the one time you bring it to me, you think I'm supposed to just sit there and be like, okay, well,
No.
I'm changing. It don't work. So give me the opportunity to feel the feelings too.
So does the same thing work if I've said it to you more than one time?
Well, that ain't what we saying.
That's not what I said you said. I'm asking you a question.
Well, then that's a different conference. That's a different response.
What I mean, so the whole point of it, whether I said it many times or said it this one time, and you supposed to say I'm supposed to have this empathy or whatever. You're not gonna make me believe that when y'all tell somebody they wrong, y'all really care if they in their feelings or not, because you really want your point to be and your agenda to come across that you're upset about this. You don't care about how they feel about it. You're not gonna make me believe that. At all. You're not gonna tell me that you talked to somebody and you just cared about how you felt when you were upset.
That's not what I was saying.
You just said you're supposed to allow them to have the empathy when you talk to them. Am I right?
Yes and no. That's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to expect that I'm not going to have a feeling about it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you need to care about me having feelings about you being mad, but what I am saying is that expect that I'm going to respond to what you're saying.
That's but if you're emotionally mature, you would, right? Because if you have an issue with me, and let's say you come to me in my lungs, in your lungs, let's just say you got an issue with me, we talking, this, and that. I need to be attentive to what the problem is. Because again, that's not my time to get in my feelings, right? That's time for me to listen, understand what you're saying. So at that moment in time, my feelings don't matter.
That's not what we're saying, though. That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying.
I'm not saying this what you're saying.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's not my time to be in my feelings about what you are upset about. If you happen to come to me in your feelings or in your emotional state. So what I'm saying is if you want that to come across as if you want, as Dee said, you want to provide a resolution, then I need to come to you emotionally mature and have the conversation in the grievance that I'm having. Still keep the same metaphor, still keep the same objective. This is not your lane for you to bring up my issue or this and that, whatever. We're not, this is about me talking about you. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to tell me anybody that you come to that conversation and they are feeling attacked, or the perception they get that you are attacking them, that you're not going to get their response, or you're not going to get any type of deflection, especially if you're talking in your emotions and not having a really emotional, mature conversation.
Well, when has a grievance felt good though?
It never feels good, but right. If we want to have a conversation about my what's name, why are you worried about feeling good? No, it's not gonna feel good, but this is a hard conversation. So if you cannot learn how to have hard conversation in your emotional mature state, then to me you're not nobody I need to communicate with. I know it's gonna make you feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, hey, I need to tell you this. Right. And it's gonna be a sting. But then my thing is, okay, so let's elaborate. Let's go more into what you're talking about, because I'm trying to understand why you're feeling this way. Where did this come from? When did this start happening? I'm gonna ask questions because I'm trying to understand what you're talking about and where all this started from. But no, you're right. Anything that's a hard conversation, it's gonna sting. If it's about you, if it's about your relationship, if it's about somebody getting fired, if you got blindsided and got fired, it's gonna sting. Or if your boss is reprimanding you, it's gonna sting. I was in my feelings about when my boss came to me, because I'm like, I don't understand what the issue is. And I was in that space where I want my lick back. However, I had to stop and be in my maturity state and be like, okay, let me tell you what she did. Okay, that don't apply, that don't apply, that don't apply. Oh, she may have a point. Now the old grade, yeah, I probably got fired that day because I would just say what I want to say, and I wouldn't have cared about what she was saying. And then I would have went in on her about things that I've seen that she do. But again, as Webby says, as everybody else says, as I've learned, that wasn't my moment. Now, whenever I get to have that moment to have that conversation, yes, I'm going to bring that up. But 9 times out of 10, the person is going to deflect, or you're going to say, oh, you just bring it up because I brought it to your attention. Now, I'm really telling you that if you really sit back and look, the same things that you were trying to call me out about, you're doing the same thing. But we won't try to hear that at that moment. Because we're going to say, oh, well, you bringing this up because of what I did to you. You're trying to find something to come to me. Or some people just like to argue. Some people create arguments because they just want to talk. Or because they ain't got nothing to do. Or they want to be, or you just want to have a conversation instead of just coming to me and just having a conversation. You'll just create an argument about anything. But yeah, I agree with you. It's gonna sting. It's gonna hurt. That's fine. But that's what it is about relationships. You're going to have the hard conversations. And if you cannot have the hard conversations, then we're gonna really struggle with communicating. So what's another characteristic of either someone protecting their, what I say, protecting their investment or drowning their investment?
I would say, I know we already kind of discussed about what we do when our partner is not present. Drowning the investment would be like, say we made an agreement that we gonna save $500 this month. Every time I look up you at Starbucks, that's a problem.
I mean, you talking about me? It's okay. Yeah, I'm here every day.
No, that's not an attack, but that's not protecting the investment when that was something that, we discussed, or you not telling me that you going to Starbucks every day. And then I'm thinking, by the end of the month, we're supposed to have this $500 saving. We negative $500.
Right,
because
right.
you continue to go outside of what we discussed to protect your own investment. Now to make sure you had coffee, but when we could have just gone and bought a coffee pot and some Folgers and kept it pushing.
Just laughing because I was at Starbucks today and you said that. I was like, man, like, was you following me? I mean, yeah.
Now I wasn't following you, Starbucks. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's part of protecting, or that was actually an example of drowning the investment, because then it goes back to trust and communication and all those other things. So yeah.
So what do you think if we're in a relational situation, me living in my past can drown our investment?
Yes, especially the negative parts about your past.
Ooh, expound on that.
So if you always talking about an ex who traumatized you in some sort, and here we are 5 years in, we still talking about the same ex that ate your Cheetos out your bag at the last bag that one night when you really wanted Cheetos. And I'm using something very frivolous, but you see where I'm going with that. And if we down to the last Cheetos over here, and you see you just like her, you gonna eat my Cheetos, and good dog, well, that was mine. And dude, but I had bought you a whole nother box over here because yeah. It'd be stuff like that.
Would you say that's someone that's still living in a selfish manner?
No, they just living in their past. They're being selfish because they're trying to protect themselves.
Hmm. D, what you think? You think living in the past? Oh, where D go?
I don't
Oh,
know.
he gonna
Something
tell us
happened to
out there.
D and Jules. I don't know what happened to them. It's just me and
Jules,
you.
oh, so I'm with,
I'm here. It's just somebody was making a lot of noise in the backyard. I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I
All
was
right,
just
all
texting my
right.
neighbor to see if they was okay because it's not coming from my
Oh,
yard. It's not coming
oh,
from my
okay.
yard. So I was just texting them to make sure everything was cool. What was the
We'll
question
put
again? I'm sorry. Do me off,
we'll put a
huh?
little. No,
Huh?
I was asking her. We were talking about other characteristics that can be protecting your relationship or drowning your relationship. So she brought up. What did you say,
Bringing
baby?
up exes, talking about exes. Yeah.
Yeah, I said living in the past.
And that's when I talk about we constantly talking about it's not no, of course, in the course of relationship, we're going to talk about people that we were with. I mean, that's fine. But when we're talking about people as it's relating to our current relationship, then that's a problem.
Right.
It's
Right.
nothing wrong about telling you a story.
It's like comparison.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, because I
It's
talk about
toxic.
my ex sis or whatever, but when I'm talking like I'm telling the story, like, but not saying they did this and you did that. That's
Right.
not what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think
that's
something else
oh,
that is not protecting your relationship is not healing, not learning about yourself and what you could do better, in a relationship. Like, I used to struggle with showing my appreciation in a relationship. Like I remember a boyfriend telling me that I never thought about him when I went out of town. I never brought him back anything, but when he go out of town on business trips or whatever, he would bring me back stuff. But when I did it, I didn't do it. And I didn't think about it. I never, it was never something that was in my forethought when I was traveling. Because, it's just little trinkets and stuff. It's not that big of a deal to me. But when he said it, it made me like, oh, he just wanted some token to say that I was thinking of him while I was gone, even though I was on the phone with him all the time or whatever it was. But it made me have to self-reflect and do better, and I'm not big on gift giving, so that was something that I had to work myself into when it came to relationships, that because it is, everybody has all of those love languages, but some of them are stronger or you do better in others, or some of them come real natural. The other ones you got to work at. And I feel like, in a relationship, in order to protect it, you got to work on all of that, in the same range as just, working on yourself.
You just said something like protecting our relationship will be paying attention to your partner's love languages. Getting to know them, what makes them tick, what makes them happy, sad, glad, angry, mad, dopey, sleepy, whichever ones.
Right.
So that's protected. Drowning it would be being neglectful or just not paying attention.
Not listening. Yeah.
Not
all of
listening,
that.
not correcting bad behavior, because apologies without correction is just BS.
And I like that because it goes both ways too. It's like, if you know you got bad behavior and you're not correcting, and they got bad behavior and you ain't said nothing about it, or held them accountable for it, that's all destructive to your relationship.
Right. Don't let me go 5 years and you still holding on to something I did January 1st, 1999. And here we are in 2024 and you still mad about you like it happened yesterday. And you done let me go out and finally, this what was a mustard seed has now turned into this.
And
molehill that I had no idea.
Volcano.
You've gotten mad every single time. That's what I was talking about. Like you felt these emotions all this time. I had no idea, for lack of better terms, I had been pissing you off.
Yeah.
And now you finally tell me I done pissed you off. And I'm like, oh, I did. And it's not, because by that time you're gonna be in the ceiling. I had no idea I had been making you mad. And
Right.
and I'm gonna be sitting there looking at you like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Because
Every time I talk to you, we good.
every time
Right.
you talk to me, we good. I had no idea you was mad. Like this thing that I did pissed you off, and here I am not thinking anything of it. And every time I've done it, there she go again. There she go. She doing that thing again. Look at her. Look at her over there doing that. And you just mad all over again. But then you don't say anything. I'm like, baby, you good? Yeah, I'm fine.
Now some people do that where, when you get to the point where you feel like you're not being heard, then you don't want to share. It's like, what I'm gonna tell you for? What's gonna
True
change?
story. But if I ain't never told you,
Right. And if you told me, and like we human, man, if you told me something and I was in the moment doing something and I was like, oh, she don't like that. I was like, dang.
yeah, I like to wear red hats.
So that's a lie. But I used to have an issue. So if anybody know me, when you call me, it's just a thing. I don't never tell you bye. I don't never tell you bye. But I had to learn that was something. I struggled with it, and I still struggle with today. I'll be like, all right, or whatever. But I had to learn in that situation that, okay, that's her salutation of me saying bye. I'm thinking she needs to hear bye. I guess every time, in my mind, when you say bye, that kind of mean like I ain't talking to you no more. So I've never said it. I just be like, all right, I'll see you later, or I'll talk to you later, or whatever. So that's been my thing. I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but I know that's something I struggle with. Like Jules said, I was just like, I don't understand why this is a big deal. But it was just like I had to learn to get, and I'm still struggling with it today. But would you say if these things that we're talking that are non-protecting relationships, or draining relationships, would you say that if you're doing these things, or well, let me say this, if you're doing these things, would you question the true investment that you're actually making in that relationship?
Wait, run that question back again.
So with the things that we're saying, like the shutting down, living in the past, emotional maturity, Jules read my mind. That's why I was going to comparison. Thank you. But with all these things, these characteristics that we're saying, right? If someone has these characteristics or are displaying these characteristics, would you question if they are really truly in an investment of you, or they're just buying time in order to go invest somewhere else?
I think that's a very tricky question because I know a couple, and there are some less than desirable behaviors. And it's not that the person just doesn't want to be there. It's just they don't think nothing's wrong with their behavior.
Mm.
So I wanted to I'm going to say it again. They want to be there, but in their mind, that's not a bad behavior. And it's they just don't think they're not trying to be with nobody else. It's not even that extreme. It's just they really don't think what they're doing is wrong. And they don't care to fix it because they don't think they're doing anything wrong. So like, folks who bratty. I'm bratty. I know I can be bratty sometimes. And sometimes I don't think I'm doing anything wrong because I'm bratty. That's my innate response, is that I'm bratty. So I have to be very mindful and careful, like, oh, that could be a little, that ain't it. So but it doesn't mean that I don't care about the other person. It doesn't mean that I'm any less invested. you know, I'm
But-
ready.
but-
I mean, that's
but
all
when
I got.
But when you say that kind of, man, okay.
It doesn't mean
I'm
that I
trying,
want to go anywhere.
right, but I'm just saying if the behavior is something that being brought to the attention that's bad, but you don't see it being bad. So let me put it this way. I've often wondered if when I did the whole engagement thing to ask that person to marry me and they said, yeah, right? It's like, did you really meant to say yeah? Or you were just in the moment and you said yeah? Or
I mean,
because I had you amongst people and you said yes.
could
Or if
be.
somebody says, I want to be in a relationship with you, so it's like, do you really want to be in a relationship with somebody? Or do you just don't want nobody else to have this other person?
Okay, so I'm gonna speak from when I was married to answer your question.
I'm just trying to I like what you said, so I'm just trying to put it in perspective. I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to make it different.
My ex-husband sucked at planning dates. Drove me crazy.
Okay.
I think that's crazy to me that you sucked at planning dates, because when it came time for you to hang with said homeboys, do anything else, you figured out a way to plan it then. Does that mean that he didn't want to be with me? Because he didn't see anything wrong with his behavior. He didn't think that anything was wrong with him not wanting to plan dates. Okay. In his mind, I was better at it, so I just could have done it. He never could make the connection. I know she wants me to take her out on a date. Like, why? Like, he never did it. Now, granted, I'm gonna say for when we were still married. Now we're not married anymore, and he's been married to somebody else. I don't know if he still feels like that or whatever, but I can't say that when we were still married that he didn't want to be there. At least at the beginning part of the marriage, he didn't see anything wrong with what he was doing. He didn't see anything wrong with what he wasn't doing. But I'm not gonna say that he didn't want to be there.
But the other person can feel as if get that. Well, there you go, that feeling, because feeling ain't fair. The idea or the perception can be made from that is because you would think, I guess in my mind, if you want to be somewhere, as they say, the cliche, you make time for what you want. So if you want to be somewhere, it don't matter what's going on. You're gonna make time. Now I'm finna tell on myself. You make time to be in certain places. You make time to do this, you make time to do that, right? I make time to go do this. And when I say I'm about to tell on myself is that used to be me. Like I can make time to go to these parties, but I couldn't make time to go do XYZ, right? So then I had to learn, like, okay, bro, I know you building, but you gotta space this out. So you have to find a compromise or a comparable setting where, hey, okay, they understand you do this. So they give you that understanding, and then try to understand sometime during the week, do something with them. Like just no phones, no nothing, or whatever. Or if you're not doing that, there's a particular time you just sit on the phone and y'all talk. And y'all catch up and y'all have conversations, like intentional conversations. Not what you do today, nothing. How was your day? Nothing. Like, them ain't intentional conversations. Like real conversations, hard conversations, whether it's fun, whether it's laughing, whether it may start some crying, whatever the case may be. I had to, because I get immersed in my business so much, because in my mind, I have this goal of retiring at 55. So I'll be tunnel vision at times, but I've had to learn to be like, okay, let me cut it off. And let me do this. Or it's been flip-flop where if you say, hey, I want to do this with you on this day. So then I have to adjust everything. And if I know ahead of time, I'm going to adjust everything so we can do this on this day, because this is what you want to do. It's not saying I couldn't plan anything. And it was like, okay, so that seemed to work for me. But so when I hear you say that, it's just like it's like if I know I'm doing something wrong to you, well, as you say, they don't think it's a bad behavior. But if you came to me and said to me that, hey, this makes me feel XYZ, and I feel this, and that, and the perception I get is that you really don't want to be here, I just think that warrants a conversation, or I think that's something that needs to be fixed.
It did warrant a conversation. We fought about it for the entire 11 years we was together. But what it did breed was me not wanting to be there. Not necessarily him. It bred the opposite for me. Because what happens is this ain't no new conversation. You planning that, like, I wanted to feel valued in the relationship, and you not planning dates made it seem like I wasn't valuable to you. But when the homeboys called and said they wanted to kick you made time to go do that.
Exactly.
And that went on for the better half of our relationship.
No, I definitely dig you on that. If you can make time to kick with your family members, but then when I call you, it's like, well, you only got this much time else to kick. Oh, well, I don't want to. I don't want to kick it with you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to do nothing because we keep having the same conversation over and over again. And it's just like, I don't know what it is. You don't care. You missing it. You're not listening, or what the case may be. So, of course, after a while, you just be like, okay. And then what crazy to me, though, Wendy, is they have the nerve, or let's use the word I love, the audacity to get upset because you upset. Are you serious?
Yeah,
like,
and
are you really for real?
now in that regard, what you were saying earlier, we've had this conversation multiple times. How dare you get upset because I'm saying something to you? Like I said, with my ex-husband, we had that conversation multiple times because he never saw anything wrong with it. Now, fast forward after we were no longer together, I was like, oh, well, he didn't plan dates the latter part of the relationship because he did end up having a problem with me per se. So yes, it turned into that, but it didn't start out that way.
Right. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ask this question. You gotta tell me 2 minutes. I know I'm way off. So with that being said, I guess in my mind, when you start to have the audacity to get upset because I'm tired of having the conversation, what does not click in your mind to be like, oh, I'm about to lose this person?
It don't, because it's just like I've had this conversation before. When people don't think that they can lose their partners, they stop caring. As long as you think that this is just my thought, and people can disagree with me. As long as you know that person doesn't have to be there, you'll do whatever you can to make sure that they stay there. But the moment you start thinking they're not going to leave, is when stuff like that happens, when you don't think you should do any type of behavioral changes.
And then the impulse that's crazy to me is you realize just how good he or she was after you gone.
And normally what happens?
It's like, but so like you said, you didn't value that person. And I'm not talking about anything specific. I'm really talking about this conversation because I'm glad you said that. But it's just like, and I can tell on me, I think I did not value somebody. I'm not gonna say I was glad I'm glad I left them or I didn't get with them, but I think at one time that was me. I didn't think he wasn't gonna go nowhere, so I just did whatever. But then after you left, it was like, oh yeah, I messed that up. I should have kept that person. And it's crazy. It's like you don't see the good in the person till you're not with the person.
Mm-hmm.
That it fathers me. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a conversation in itself, whatever or not. But that's interesting you said that. Like real talk. I appreciate that. That was good. That was very good. All right. Oh, Jules, did you hear what we were talking about?
Say it again.
Did you hear what we were talking about?
No, what'd you say? What'd y'all say?
Oh, so when she said some people don't believe in their, like they have bad behavior, but they don't think it's bad behavior, right? So I asked her, why is it that so then we got to the whole conversation of, as long as you know that person's not gonna leave, then you'll do whatever. But then when that person leaves, then all of a sudden you like, dang, that person was good. And that was the last question I asked her, and I asked you, and then we can do our 2-minute drill. Like, why is it you don't never value it? Why is it you can't see the value in the person? why you got the person.
What I said to give some context before Jules and D answer is, if people thought more, and don't judge me, with the end in mind, they would do what they would need to do to make sure that they person stays there. Once the person starts to think that, oh, well, he'll never leave, oh, she'll never leave, what end up happening? Person doesn't leave because you stop putting the effort in to maintain the relationship.
Right. I don't know why they do it. I feel like that's that's been my relationships. It's been where I'll leave, and then it's like they try whatever they can do to get back, and it's just like, I'm done now. You had plenty of opportunity and space, and I've given you plenty of opportunity and space to change, and you knew I wasn't gonna leave, or I wasn't trying to leave, and I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's crazy. And even with that being said, I heard somebody say this: when you forgive somebody, you forgive them for whatever they did. So if you did something, you treated me horribly, and I say, man, D, I forgive you, right? So, and then you will say, let's start, let's rekindle our friendship, whatever. So when I say forgive, I forgive you, but we can't go back to where we were, because the person I thought you was, that's not who you were. So now I have to relearn who you are to start a whole new relationship with you. I thought that was kind of powerful. I never looked at it that way before. You said this, but then now we've had a tay-to-tay. I can use my own situation with me. I think that happened with me and Jermaine. Like, it was something that happened. It was wrong, this is that. And I've always said we were going to fight to have the conversation. We had the conversation, but I think he gave me the grace and mercy. And doing that grace and mercy, he had to relearn who I was in order to be back in the fold, or be brother again because of the action. So he forgave me, but we just can't go back to where we were. We're gonna have to start over, bro. And I don't think some people understand that.
I don't think you start. I think you start in a different place. I don't think you ever start over. It's for me, there is no starting over. Now I will forgive you. I will never forget. But I will forgive you, and we will use this to either get closer, or I'm going to compartmentalize you over here. It's one or the other. We never go back to the same place. It's either we get closer and we learn from it, and we have a better relationship and better communication from it, and we grow together, or I just can't deal with you. I'll forgive you, but I don't. It's like just because I forgive you, I don't have to keep dealing with you.
Right.
I'm gonna forgive you for me, because it's what I need to do so that I don't carry the baggage, and I don't need, I get the healing that I need from the situation. But if you're truly my friend and I truly love you, then 9 times out of 10, I'm going to forgive you, and that's going to make us grow better and do better in the future.
I do. I respect it. I respect it. All right, man. I gotta keep y'all on though. It got real for me when Webby said what she said. So let's do the 2-minute drill. This one we say the last 2 minutes about: are you protecting or are you drowning your investment? What is some words of wisdom y'all want to impart on our viewers before we get out of here? Webby?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, since you're sleepy, we want you to go ahead and go.
How'd you know? Let's just make sure that we are doing our best to protect our relationship. And if there was, make sure that we continue to put boundaries in place, that we honor our relationships. And if somebody say, well, we ain't married yet, but are you trying to get married? Then I suggest you start doing so. That's all I got. Under 30 seconds.
See, Juice.
I'm going to say move with the best intentions of your spouse or your significant other. Have them in mind in your decisions, and, do what's best, make decisions that's in the best interest of them. and you. Put them first. That way you're always considering them.
Yes. I would say love the love the most enjoyable moments you have with them, but try to love the difficult moments that are going to happen. And what I mean by love them, be in season when those moments happen. Be, as D say, be here. We here, and use his acronyms. Be present. Um, be present in happiness and be present when the storm happens as well. That's what I think we should do. Big D.
Don't pull out. Oh, wow, that didn't sound right. Let's say, let's do this. All right. Don't just
Cut,
I
cut,
had to
cut,
pause,
cut.
pause. That just
Go
didn't
back
sound
to
good.
radio.
Hold on.
Go back to radio.
Well, I would say this. Look,
See, here you
hey man, come on, dog. Hey, all I'm gonna say is this.
go.
Jules
Talking
is
clear
losing it.
business. Talking
Uh,
clear
no, you
business.
talking about under 15 seconds right there. Don't pull out. Hey, stay in that thing. Shoot the
Clear
club up.
business.
But no, for real. The reality is, I would say this. What I was trying to say is, don't pull out on your investment too fast. Um, some really good investments sometimes come with some adversity. And just because you face some adversity doesn't mean that the adversity on the other side won't really, um, you know, equal up to a really, really positive investment. So just remember, humans are not disposable, right? We can't treat people like they're disposable and think that that we're gonna get somewhere in any type of relationship. So, God, dog. Um, I'm sorry, I ignited something. Yeah, I'll just pray for everybody's minds as we go to bed tonight. Um,
Say, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead and pray us out, bro.
Yeah, we was
oh
done
God.
when you said pull out 15, 10 minutes
Yeah, I
ago. I mean, I'm
mean,
just saying, we was done.
you still in the eclipse. I see it. You still in the eclipse.
Look, when that split decision come, where you got to make a quick decision, or you gonna, whether you gonna stay or you gonna eclipse. Just remember, just remember, like the sun, the moons, and the stars can
Sun,
turn
moon,
into
storm.
can equal some
Eclipse.
win-win, huh? Unless you got a cougar. You said what?
I said it's gonna equal an eclipse.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, hey,
9 months later.
Eclipse then and eclipse 9 months later.
it's
You're
gonna
gonna have a
eclipse
total
now.
eclipse 9 months later.
Right. Right. Got a full moon for 9 months.
Oh man. Oh man. Hey man, this been real, man. It's, y'all
No,
It
know
we
was
exactly
like,
how,
but no, it was funny
how
because it
this
was so
live show is
serious.
going to be.
It was so serious. And then it said, don't pull out. Everybody was like, what? Jaws was like, oh, just
Oh God.
that devouring spirit just
I
came
seen it. I
over the
just
whole
seen it. I
call.
said, y'all gonna just devour
and then
again.
I said
Hey,
I said what I said. Didn't make a
Yeah.
she
God,
said she gonna
dog.
start. She said she gonna start charging her to say her word, bro.
Yeah.
She
So
gonna start
y'all be
charging her
on
to say her word.
every week.
Devour.
God, dog.
the prayer tonight needs to be Jesus wept. Because
Yeah.
that's what we
And,
got.
and, it, and then y'all need to tell Jesus why y'all sleep.
Amen.
I know
Amen.
why Jesus wept.
Oh Lord, we know Sister Mary Clarence. You know, you know, Sister Mary.
Oh, you're not Sister Mary Clarence.
By
Boy,
no means.
First Baptist AME.
I don't
I
know.
am
Sister
an
Mary
enemy.
Clarence was a freak.
So
Sister
yes,
Mary Clarence was, hey. But no, look. So, no, it's all good, man. Y'all, I think Webby just prayed us out. She said, Jesus wept. Thank you, Holy God, for everything.
No, sir. No, sir. But she can
Okay.
pray us out. Come on,
Go ahead,
Webby.
Webby. Give us one, Webby.
The only request I say is please pray for these young adults who are taking these STAR tests. They are under a strenuous of a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
We need a teacher's covering tonight.
Yes, because I
we
did
need
my
to
first
really-
start
we
test
need to really
today.
we need to really cover these kiddos and help
Yeah,
them just let them know that we just pray for them to grow. We're not pushing the button on them to be excellent or perfect. That's the
Pray for the kids to grow and the teachers to remain sane until May 24th.
Praise God. All right, come on, Webby, you gonna do
I just did it.
it?
Oh my God.
Girl. You know
Okay.
what?
Father God, I want to say thank you for the conversation tonight. Thank you for the revelations, the thoughts, the processes, Lord. I hope that I pray that we have done everything that was pleasing and unto you. Father God, I want to ask for all these kiddos that are out here taking STAR, whether elementary, middle school, or high school, that they do their best. They're not stressed, that you guide them, provide them the confidence that they need to do their best. And that's all we're asking for is their best. And for the teachers that have pushed since August, Lord, keep us sane and understanding that and reminding us that we're at the end and it's going to be what it is, but we're going to be okay. The kids are going to be okay. And I just ask for patience, guidance, and comfortability, Lord. In Jesus' name, pray, amen. Whew.
Amen. Girl, you're wonderful, wonderful. Well, look, man, you know how we do believe in God because big believe in God because he believes in us. I live by two waters, faith and fear cannot dwell in the same day, same place. And while you're on this side, remember to always love, live, and laugh. On behalf of Darion, Lil Webby, and of course our own piece of fine jewelry, Jules, me, DJ TRWKY, we appreciate you. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to join us. Please choose to join us next Tuesday, 7:30, right here, same time, right on the 418. Other than that, we wish you a good night. Y'all be good, man.